We have already discussed this, and I think we have also, as Northern Elders Forum, come out to, through our Director of Publicity and Advocacy, who granted a number of interviews through the various channels of communication, radio, television, and so on, to send this message from our forum. And I think this message is also shared by a huge section of this country. That
Northern elders don't come and talk say election self never even finish simply because people they contest the election for tribunal with facts and evidences. Hell, these Northern elders don't come and tell Bola Tinubu say make he stay off of National Assembly, say make he no go they try to impose leadership for National Assembly. Say make, in fact, I don't want to talk too much. More I watch the video first. I go come back.
Well, thank you very much for this interactive. The Northern Elders Forum, like other fora in the country, very concerned about the well-being of this country in every respect, political, economic, social, security, and so on. And from time to time, issues arise, and that views are sought, or views are given where even they are not sought in the interest of the country. I think the current situation on ground now, having gone through the election process, not quite completed because there are candidates in a democracy who are not satisfied with the way the elections went, and the constitution of this country provides ample opportunities for people who feel dissatisfied to approach our legal system, the courts of law, for interpretation, for resolution of their contentions, and so on, as to whether somebody else has gone wrong and they're right, and so on. And this is where I would say, yes, the entire election process is still in a process not quite complete, because the candidates, there are some candidates who are in court to challenge the outcome of the election on the basis of facts they are hopeful to present to the tribunals. Of course, the main area now that appears to be of special interest and concern is the other branch of government. Our Constitution provides for 3 autonomous branches of government, and not that they should not work together, but they invariably work together in the overall interest of the country. So they serve as some kind of oversight checks, depending on what is happening in other branches of government. So the Constitution is very clear about the separation of power here between the executive branch, the legislative arm, and the judiciary. And right now, we are at a point when the National Assembly is supposed to have leaders, and the leadership of the 2 chambers, one is President of the Senate, and the other one is the Speaker of the House of Reps. And each chamber, even within the context of the National Assembly, is also independent to decide how this should be done. But the bottom line, the basic foundation, is the Constitution of the country, which stipulates very clearly that there will be such and such an institution, and that's how this institution will be formed, and how the institution is supposed to provide its leadership. So as far as we know, and in our own various discussions at the level of society, particularly at our level in the Northern Elders Forum, is to emphasize this point. The Constitution should be strictly adhered to by all concerned. And here by all concerned, I mean that the major concern is the National Assembly trying, or that is expected after declaration, to decide who will be the President of the Senate, and who will be the Speaker, and the other various other appendages that go with them. So we have already discussed this, and I think we have also, as Northern Elders Forum, come out to, through our Director of Publicity and Advocacy, who granted a number of interviews through the various channels of communication, radio, television, and so on, to send this message from our forum. And I think this message is also shared by a huge section of this country, that the National Assembly is an autonomous body that is supposed to decide is not just its leadership, but is also its mode of operation, as long as it is within the larger frame of the Constitution of this country. So, if we are going to be honest in giving advice to people who care about this country, is that the National Assembly members-elect should be left entirely alone to decide who their leaders will be in a process that the Assembly, the various chambers have themselves decided. They have rules that are very clear as to how nominations for those who are interested will come. You talked about somebody, I mean, a party that has larger numbers. Well, I'm not worried about the large numbers. I'm worried about each member, whether he comes from a small party or whether he comes from a big party, to be able to say, yes, I'm interested in being the Senate President, or I'm interested in being the Speaker of the House of Reps. And it is the process that is already stipulated that will determine whether this man who comes from a small party will be elected by his colleagues. So I think the issue now is not that this is a ruling party or this is the majority party. It's a matter of allowing the process to take its full course. And that this course is for the members-elect to determine who the leaders will be through the process that has been agreed by them in their chambers. And this is an honest advice one would like to give to those who are in position of responsibility, and to avoid a situation where perhaps we run into situations where we say something has been imposed, something